is, folks, the new Nissan Navara. Or is it? Actually, it isn't new, not in the strictest sense of the word, because while the 2021 Nissan Navara that you see behind me definitely looks a little bit different to the car that came before it, it's really just a pretty fancy facelift. It's a comprehensive facelift rather than an all-new car. And that means that no, there are no big changes under the bonnet. You'll still find the familiar 2.3 litre turbo diesel, and the outputs for that engine haven't changed. Also, the V6 turbo diesel that some of you may have been hoping for is nowhere to be seen. However, besides the aesthetic updates that you see around the exterior of the car, there are a bunch of detail changes that do help the Navara stay relevant in what is arguably one of the most competitive vehicle segments in the world. Let's take a look at these. We'll kick off with the exterior. The changes here are obvious, with big revisions to the front and rear to set it apart from the pre-update model, including new sheet metal for the front quarter panels, bonnet and the tub. The grille is the most obvious difference, with a bold frame inspired by the US market Nissan Titan, and the Navara nameplate embossed into the leading edge of the bonnet. The headlight housings have the same overall shape as before, but feature new internals and a distinctive new LED running light graphic. The quad projector arrangement in this car, which is called the Pro 4X and is a new addition to the Navara range, looks great, but you won't find them in lower spec Navara models. Around the sides, there's new sheet metal to pump up the wheel arches, though the door stampings remain the same as before. The tub's cargo area has the same dimensions, at least for the dual cab model, but its exterior has been spruced up to match the front. There are new LED taillights to look at as well, and the tailgate has a new look with the Navara name emblazoned across it. Oh, there's also a new integrated step on the rear bumper as well, to help make it easier to load items into the back. However, obviously that's rendered useless if the tailgate is lowered. Steps in the corners of the bumper, like you find in some US market full-size pickups, would probably have been a little bit more helpful. On the inside, the updates are less extensive. The Navara's dated dashboard design is still there, but thankfully the old car's steering wheel has been turfed in favour of one that's more like what you'll find in Nissan's passenger car range. At least there's the 8-inch colour touchscreen display to provide some degree of modernity, and it does include smartphone mirroring as well for Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. However, it must be said that that system was already available in the Navara before this update. However, there are some detail changes that should make a more meaningful difference inside the 2021 Navara. There's more sound deadening material, plus a laminated windshield and front side glass to help reduce cabin noise, while the rear seat cushions in the dual cab models have been reprofiled to improve passenger comfort. There's also a fold-down center armrest for those in the back too, which is nice. Something else which should also make life easier is a provision of more USB ports throughout the Navara's cabin, along with a single Type-C USB port in the console. Tradies and parents alike will no doubt approve of that. Rain-sensing wipers and auto-folding side mirrors are also new, while the carryover 360-degree camera system now offers an off-road specific mode to help you pick your line with more accuracy when you're driving off the beaten track. When you're driving on the road though, the arrival of autonomous emergency braking should make the new Navara a smidge safer as well. Now, Nissan also says that it's retuned the Navara's suspension, which is welcome news. The Navara's dual cab range differs from most body-on-frame utes by using a coil-sprung rear axle. However, the ride comfort and on-road performance of this has never lived up to the expectations of that system. Hopefully, the 2021 model's retune solves that. Nissan also boasts that it has increased payload capacity to class-leading levels, with some models able to tote up to 1.2 tons in the back. In Australia, certain cab chassis models were already capable of that, but my understanding is that non-cab chassis models are the ones receiving the payload boost. In fact, the dual cab Pro 4X model you see here is expected to have a max payload of around 1.1 tons, a pretty handy figure for a 4x4 dual cab. Will this update be enough for the Navara to remain relevant against newer rivals like the Mazda BT50 and Isuzu D-Max? Not to mention the incredibly popular Ford Ranger? Well, that's going to really depend a whole lot on pricing, and Nissan Australia isn't really ready to reveal how much it's going to price this new Navara. We'll probably have more clarity on that when the car launches here at the start of next year. But what about you? If you're shopping for a ute, are these updates enough to convince you to put a Navara on your shortlist? Do have a say in the comments below. I'd be interested to hear it. Anyway, thus concludes my quick rundown of the 2021 Nissan Navara. I hope it's been informative for you. If so, please do consider liking the video and also consider subscribing to my channel. Thanks for watching everybody, I will see you in the next video.